Right. What's up, gang? I hope you guys are doing absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I get so confused by recording on this phone because I don't know if I should like look directly right here or if I should look right here just to make sure everything is okay. When I look this way, I'm monitoring like this screen of the video to make sure everything looks okay. When I look directly right here, I can't see anything. All I see is like the lens, but I'm probably making like direct eye contact with y'all this way. But yeah, so all is well right now. Your girl woke up feeling pretty cool overall. This morning when I woke up, I said to myself, chocolate big bookies. So all is well. I think I got that off a really funny old video. It was kind of like making fun of how gang members talk, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But I like that lingo; it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I woke up feeling pretty cool. One thing I will say though is that I had like a really strange dream. Very often I have strange dreams ever since I was a teen and like living with my mom and stuff. I've always dreamed like very vivid dreams. Like my dreams got so vivid as a teenager that my mom actually bought me a dream Bible book, and it like kind of like broke down different meanings or possible meanings of the dreams that I was having at the time. I don't know what happened to that book, but yeah, even now as an adult, I still have vivid dreams, like back to back. Every night I dream. Now there has been times when my dreams came true, so that's why when I have nightmares I get really scared because I don't know if it's an actual warning and it's true and will come to pass, or if it's supposed to be broken down in like a more metaphysical way. One time I had a dream that my car was smoking, and it was something about antifreeze. Like in that dream, I pulled up to like the gas station and my car, it wouldn't start. And it was something about antifreeze. And in my dream, I had a guide to, it was something about antifreeze. So that morning when I woke up, I was like, I am going out of town, which I was just going like a few minutes away to go to my favorite park. In real life, when I woke up, I had my antifreeze on top of my freezer, and like I had like this nudge like, Lana, go ahead and put your antifreeze in your car just in case, because that dream was wild. But yeah, when I pulled up to the park, I kid you not, whenever I got there in park, I was looking at my car and it was nothing but a bunch of white smoke, and I had my antifreeze in the passenger side because of my dream. And out of nowhere, it was this older Caucasian man. He came in a red truck and he parked right beside me out of all places, and I went up to him. I'm like, hey, can you help me to put this antifreeze in my car? And he was like, yeah. And something that he said that stuck out to me is that we all need a little help sometimes, and he told me not to apologize, you know. And I was just like, oh wow, you know. And I wanted to pay him and everything, but he was like, no, we all need help sometimes, you know. So I kind of like that in that situation, because I don't know, maybe I needed to hear that message, and for me to get that message from him, I had to be in a situation where I needed help, you know. And one thing about me that like everybody in my immediate family knows is like I do not ask for anything. And if I do, it is in emergency, and like I absolutely could not do for myself. Like I pride myself on how much I can tolerate and do by myself. And I'm only set up like that because, one, I don't like to bother people. And I know that everybody has their own things going on. So the last thing I want to ever do is add on to what the next person is going through. So really mostly everything in my life, I try my best to figure it out by myself. But yeah, I just get like really uncomfortable. They go, or Did y'all see that? But no, I just get like extremely uncomfortable when it comes time to like ask for help and stuff. Like, I don't know, it just makes me feel less of a person when I do ask for help. In a way, I kind of feel like I failed myself and the people around me whenever I ask for help. Because it's like I failed myself because I wasn't able to pull off something, or failing the people around me because I'm having to add extra weight to them. So where did I get that mentality from? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's from like growing up watching my mom do mostly everything alone, or if it was from like times whenever I was in certain situations where I needed help, and I can't go too much into details about that, but I think I know where that mentality of being afraid to ask for help came from. But that's besides the point. Something that I wanted to talk to you guys about was this strange dream that I had last night. So it was a variety of things that happened. It was a variety of scenes. I don't just have dreams of just like one particular scope, like, oh, this happened. Like, no, it's like this happened, and then there was another scene of this happening, and then another scene of this happening. Like, I see multiple things in my dreams. So this one in particular, it was about this girl. I don't know if she was Mexican or Caucasian, but she was in some type of stadium, like a football stadium, baseball stadium, and there was a guy beside her who, it was something about his hat. She wanted his hat or something like that. And she was telling him, like, if she catches any other female with his hat on, that she was gonna basically like beat his ass. And I got the nudge. It's like Spirit was telling me in that dream, like, she actually likes him, but it's like the way that she showed her love was very aggressive. It's very masculine. It was very forceful. It was very like threatening in a way, you know, telling him that like if she catches another female with his hat on, you know, she's gonna beat his ass or whatever. But so that was the message that Spirit put in my mind and on my heart in that moment. And then it switched over to that same girl and one of my sisters being in my old childhood Big Yellow house. And the girl, she was in the kitchen. And I don't know if it was the kitchen there or the kitchen here. I think it was the kitchen here in this apartment that I'm in now. But she was stealing chips or whatever. And my sister was like, oh, so you're gonna let her do such and such? And it's like I got another nudge from Spirit. It's like when Spirit talks to me in my dreams, it's silent. Like, I don't hear actual words. It's just I hear Spirit, but I don't hear words. It's like I just hear a feeling. Does that make sense what I just said, y'all? I hear feelings, like, and I feel the messages of Spirit. But anyways, in the dream, Spirit told me and spoke to me to just go up and give that girl a hug. Although she was in the process of stealing stuff, it's like I don't know, just Spirit told me to give her a hug, you know? And when I gave this girl a hug, y'all, when I tell you, like, I don't know if it was like she was like I don't know what she was, but she wasn't a normal girl. When I gave her a hug, it's like something in her belly was showing me like the force of life. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but an image that I did see was like a tall mountain. I don't know if it was a mountain or a pyramid, but the theme of it was like lightning. It was like storming, very heavy, and there was an eye, like a very big eye centered at the top of the pyramid. And I messed up that process by asking her, are you a Christian? And it's like, as soon as I asked her if she was a Christian, why did I ask her that? I don't know. I'm not even one. Like, I don't know why I asked her that. But it's like, as soon as I asked, are you a Christian? Like, it's like she threw me and everything around me upward to the ceiling. It was almost as if like a tornado came, but the wind was so strong, y'all. And it's like everything was pulled up to the ceiling. And something else that stuck out to me is that it was a cross that she made fly up. It's like anything religious, anything that related to are you a Christian, it all was thrown up. So it was a cross pendant that was thrown up, and other like religious symbols and stuff like that. All of it was like thrown up into the air. And I was, for some reason, while I was going towards the ceiling, I was like reaching for her, and I think I remember her holding my hand, but I looked in her eyes, and although everything around me was chaotic and flying towards the ceiling, when I looked in her eyes, y'all, I cannot describe how much peace I felt. Like, it's like I don't know what she was trying to communicate to me, but just looking into her eyes, y'all, it's like literally the way I can describe it, and something that I heard like internally without actually hearing it, was like eye of the storm, the needle of the storm, needle of the eye, something like that. But you know how they say in the middle of a tornado is calm, it's peaceful. That's what that was, you know. And it's like for a moment when I looked in her eyes, everything froze, everything paused. Although everything around me was absolutely chaotic, y'all, absolutely chaotic. Stuff was flying around, everything was going straight to the ceiling. Like, it was absolute like chaos. But in my world, looking into her eyes, everything was still. It's almost as if it was silent too. Like everything was silent while I was looking in her eyes, you know. But that dream was wild, and I've never like seen that before, particularly like a pyramid with the eye at the top of it. But that in particular, it was like a source. It was like something that like operated like, I don't know how to describe it, but she showed me something very powerful. Whatever that was with the pyramid and the eye, or the mountain, or at the eye at the top, it was lightning, it was thundering, it was very dark. It was, but it didn't give you off creepy vibes though. It wasn't anything creepy or anything scary. It was powerful, almost as if like it was some like force, like a very like supernatural force that controls everything. But it was not evil, it was not bad. And honestly though, what came to my mind is how people a lot of times talk about like the Illuminati and stuff like that. I remember as a teen, you know, being a part of like the conspiracy theorists, things of that nature. But something I have learned, y'all, which take this as a grain of salt, because I don't know really anything about anything. But one thing I will say is that a lot of times things that are actually good, they can seem evil, and things that are evil, they can seem good. Now I said that to say that with the pyramid at the eye at the top, a lot of people, when they see stuff like that, they get really scared, you know. But I am here to tell y'all, in my dream, that pyramid or that mountain, whatever it was huge. And it was like in the middle of like everything. It was like, I don't know how to, just, okay, imagine this, okay? Imagine if the world was completely empty, like nothing, no trees, no nothing, absolutely nothing, just land. Okay, and imagine in the middle of all of this, a huge mountain or pyramid. I still don't know if it was a pyramid or a mountain, okay? And imagine it being nighttime, thundering, storming. But it was no rain, it was just lightning real bad and thundering real bad. And it's like a big eye at the top of it. That's what I saw. But I did not get creeped out. It was not fearful. It was not evil. It was not, oh, let me get away from this. It's like I was glued to it. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe that to y'all, but it was not evil, you know. But I hear a lot of people, whenever they do talk about like the pyramid eye and stuff, they make it sound so evil, you know. And that's crazy, because one thing I think we all know is that whenever us humans are scared of something or we don't understand something, we attack it. We assume that it's negative, you know. And I honestly feel like, and that's crazy, because I actually had a vision a really long time ago of talking about this to people, but it's like the people were kind of freaked out and scared, because they're like, oh my goodness, why is she talking about this? But just what we think is evil, what we think is not right, is simply because we don't fully understand it, you know. Because once again, I saw that pyramid, I saw that eye, but it was not evil. And to even tie into that even more, the girl in the dream, people viewed her so negatively. They viewed her as rough, tomboyish, you know, with her stealing the chips. It's like everybody had this negative image of who she is in their mind, you know, but they did not see what was inside of her. Like when I gave her a hug, nobody else thought to hug her. Nobody else thought to, you know, it's like, but when I hugged her, y'all, it's like she showed me something that like the life force of life, the power behind life, the energy behind life. It's like she showed me that. And it's like what she showed me, if anybody else was to see it, they would be freaked out. They would be scared. They would be like, oh, there go this shit, that Illuminati shit. But like, no, it was not any of that. I was glued to it. I was just like, oh, wow. And I was so amazed that I ended up asking her, like, are you a Christian? Like, I still don't know what made me ask her that in the dream. Because, like, in real life, I never ask people that, like, ever. Like, that's not even something that crosses my mind, like religion and stuff like that, you know. I'm not a religious person at all, but, and honestly, I feel like in a way, the reason why she threw me up and the cross and all the other religious symbols is because it's like what she showed me was the life force in its pure form. But when we throw labels on it, when we try to put it in a category, like we make it so much smaller than what it actually is. And I feel like in a way that not so much as offended her, but it's like it tainted the purity of what she showed me. What she showed me was powerful and it was pure. It was, I don't know what it was, but it was raw, it was real. And for me to ask, are you Christian? It's like I asked her a very superficial, basic question. And it's like, you know, like, I just heard my mind like, fuck out of here with all of that fuck shit. Like, it's like, what she showed me was beyond religion. It was beyond a label. It was beyond all of that. And me trying to throw a label on it and understand it with my little bitty human brain. It's like she was not having that. She was not having that. She didn't want me to put what she showed me into a category. She didn't want me to slap a label on like, oh, you a Christian and stuff like that. Like, she wanted nothing to do with religion. What she showed me was life force at its purest, rawest, real form. It had no name. It had no religion backed up behind it. It had none of that. It was just almighty and powerful. Like, and it was not evil, y'all. It was not evil. It was not evil. I don't know why it kind of made me think about, you know how like, you know how when we have, like, okay, imagine the whole world. Y'all know how we have Wi-Fi, we have hotspot, we have mobile data. Okay, so the towers that control the input, the output of the signals and shit like that. It's like that's what that pyramid was with the eye. But it stored all the energy, all of it, all the power, all the energy, all of what controls everything. That was it. And it's like in the dream, I tried to make sense of it, and it's just, she was not having it. She was not having it. It's just something about religion. She was not having it. All the cross, I just saw a bunch of like religious symbols just like being thrown up, and she was like, no. And she looked me in my eyes, and it's like, I don't know what she was trying to express to me, but it was so peaceful when she looked in my eyes. It's like she meant no harm to me, but it's like she was, I guess, trying to like prove a point to me or show me. It's kind of like, I don't know, that just made me think about like, it just made me think about a student. If a student got in trouble in a classroom and it's like the teacher got yelled at the child and then pulled the child to the side in the hallway to quietly explain to the child like, hey, you know, this is why I pulled you to the side earlier, you know? It's just when you're in my class, I want it to be orderly. I want it to be, you know, raising hand if you have a question, things of that nature. Like pulling that child to the side to explain to them. And it's like, I feel like that's what the girl was doing to me, but just through her eyes, like that whole time in that dream, nobody was actually talking to me. That girl, she never actually spoke to me. God, spirit, the universe never spoke to me, but I was able to hear. Like, I hear what you're saying, but you didn't say anything to me, but I hear you. I understand you. Like, y'all. Y'all. But that dream, it was, to me, very beautiful. It's very meaningful. It's very symbolic. It was very eye-opening, and you know, I just would like for us as humanity to kind of get to the point to where we don't attack things that we do not understand, you know, because like, here's the thing. I know that us humans and animals, stuff like that, we're not the only species on this planet, and this might be completely off topic, but it ties into like, you know, that dream in a way. But like, I know we're not the only forces of life here, but if we are so fearful that we will attack anything that we don't understand, you know, it's just like, that's why certain things have not been shown to us. That's why certain things have not been revealed to us. That's why certain creatures that exist on this planet with us have not shown themselves, you know. And I remember talking to one of my sisters about that. You know, us humans, when we're scared of something, we shoot or we run or we flee, you know. But rarely do we ever try to take time to understand, you know. And these other life beings that we live with, they're so much more smarter than us, stronger than us, wiser than us, telepathic. So if they were to show themselves and us humans getting upset and try to attack them, they're gonna have to defend themselves, you know? And we can't be like, woe is me, oh, like, no, you know, you throw the first stone, don't hide your hands after you throw it, you know? So I just think us as a collective, we have to go to be more understanding, more open, more open-minded, y'all, because this world, I feel like spirit has so much that it wants to show us. The universe, it has mysteries that our mind cannot even fathom, but it wants to show us these things. But we have to be open-minded. We have to be fearless. We have to be open to that, you know? Because like that pyramid with the eye, I could have easily freaked out and be like, nah, I ain't into that Illuminati shit. Like, I ain't finna get into all of that. But it's like I put my ego to the side in the dream. I put my fear to the side in my dream. I put aside the programming, because in real life, you think pyramid eye, we all been programmed to be scared of that type of stuff. Think Illuminati, like all they evil stuff like that, you know. But I put aside all of that. It's like all the ego, all the assumptions, all of what this world has taught me. It's like all of that just went out the window, and I was able to actually soak in what she showed me. And I realized how powerful it was, how, like, that's the only word I can describe it, as powerful and like just almighty and just very powerful, you know. I was not scared. It was nothing to be feared, you know. It was powerful. That's all I can describe it to be, you know. But I think the closest message that I got in that dream is like not to put something huge into a box, you know? Because me asking her, are you a Christian? You know, that question to her was just like what the fuck? Like, that's so basic. I am more than that. I am beyond that. I am the everything. And you want to just put me in a box? You know, like, it's like I offended her, like, beyond life with that question. You know, it's like she literally showed me the world, the meaning of the world. And here I am asking, are you a Christian? She like, bitch, what? I just showed you the meaning of life. What do you mean, am I a Christian? I am everything. Like, it's like, that's what But the look that she gave me, it was so peaceful. It was like she was explaining to me, like, I had to do this to show you, or do you mean do you understand why I did this? Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand? Like, do you understand not to put me in a box? Do you understand? Do you understand? You know? And it was just wild, you know? So yeah, that dream, y'all, and this is not the first time I dreamed something like that. I'll probably start uploading more videos about all the dreams that I've had, because y'all, I tell you what, it was just, no, I'm not gonna talk about it just yet. I'll probably make like separate videos, because that would be too long of a topic. But yeah, I just, every night I faithfully have dreams. And I've always wanted to understand my dreams. I've always wanted to be able to interpret them, or at least come across a person who does know how to interpret dreams. I like to learn. I like to understand. I feel like whenever spirit gives us dreams, it's trying to show us something or teach us something, and I want to be able to understand the assignment. I want to be able to know what spirit is trying to communicate to me, because I feel like it's important, very important. Because I don't want spirit to just like be sending me dreams and I don't look them up. I don't try to understand it and just I go on with my life and I just overlook many messages from spirit. Like, I don't even feel comfortable doing that. Like, I don't even feel comfortable waking up from my dreams and not writing it down or typing it out on my phone. Like, each dream I have, I see it as, okay, spirit's trying to show me something or tell me something, and I feel like to anybody else who dream, like, I feel like we have to get to the point to like taking it more serious and asking spirit for understanding, But that dream to me was so powerful. It taught me like not to fear the unknown. Also to like see things as they are, not from my ego, not from fear, not from what I've been told, not from fear or any of that. Just look at things as they are. And also not to limit my God, not to limit the universe, not to limit life to, just one thing. I search you Christian. That's kind of like if you come from, that's like imagine a big ass angel coming out the sky and you watching it create clouds and all of this, and the angel come up to you, you ask, are you a magician? It's like if I could compare that to anything, that's what I'll compare it to. Like, did you not just see what all I did? You got the nerve to ask me if I'm a magician? You think a magician would really do this? I am more than a magician. So, that was a very powerful dream. It just taught me not to put the universe in a box, yeah. And to try my best to just look at things positively. Because once again, in that dream, most people had negative connotations about her. They had negative presumptions about her, And spirit was like, go give her a hug. The person that people saw as evil, the person that people saw as aggressive and mean and stuff like that. And speaking of that, y'all, oh my goodness. Okay, I think I know another reason like why that came. I saw 2 videos last night on YouTube. Like last night, I did not really sleep. I did, but I woke back up probably around like 2, 3, and I woke until about 5, 6. But okay, so the first video was of a rapper. The second video was of this little boy, teenage boy who it was a mass shooting. Okay, so with the rapper, his name was Lil Loaded. I'm just now learning about him. But anyways, his brother got killed, so he killed the people that killed them, and then his girlfriend broke up with him, so he committed suicide. The way I was like looking at interviews of him, and I actually commented under the videos like all he needed was hugs and kisses, and I bet he wouldn't have committed suicide. Like most people, they see these rappers or people that have up these tough exteriors, people that are like rah rah, and those are the people that need the most love. Those are the people that need the most acceptance, the most warmth, And the second video, to that one, it was about the teenage boy that was a shooter, the mass shooter or whatever. And the people in the courtrooms, it was this woman, she was attacking him with her words, out of hurt. He killed her baby, so I understand fully, but she was talking about how she hopes that he rots in jail and dies a slow, torturous death. And, he was taking it in. He was like, yeah. But it was another woman in the jury. And she was like, I forgive you. I'm not gonna hold this against you. My son that you killed, he was kind, and you don't know kindness. And she was like, my family is gonna move on from this, but you will not. You have to sit with this. And her showing love to him, telling him that she forgives him, and also she was telling him how she was also telling him how her son actually had plans to do something very nice for him, and it made him tear up, So some of what I took from that, y'all, is something I've been on, but I want to share with y'all. Some of the people on this planet that you deem as evil, mean, sometimes very hateful, filled with hatred, very angry, very bitter. Those are the people that are hurting the most, and they need the most love. All these gangsters, these rappers, and all of that, they need the most love. They need the most warmth. When you feed negativity with anger and hatred, it grows it. But when you feed it with love, it brings it down. It brings it down, because once again, that girl in my dream, I could have looked at her how everybody else was looking at her. I could have treated her the same, and she never would have showed me what she showed me, which was basically not to slap a label on things I don't understand, not to try to, put something bigger than what it really is in a box, I wouldn't have learned that through her if I would have just pushed her aside, But it's like the people that we dismiss, the people that we deem as, I just like negative or whatever, it's like they hold the most lessons. It's like, once again, not attacking the things that we don't understand. If we don't understand a person, no, I may not understand why you do what you do. I may not understand how you're able to do what you do, because I wouldn't do it, But I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what adversities you faced in this lifetime that made you. I don't know, that shit got me tearing up, y'all. But it's just, you never know what a person has encountered in their life. You don't know what made them how they are, You just don't know. All we know is the aftermath. Like, oh, she shooting off on people, she doing this, she doing that, but nobody looks at the root, or try to approach that person from a loving perspective, But, yeah, that shit kind of got me tearing up. But we just have to be more loving and more kind and more understanding toward each other, Anybody on this planet, they're not born evil. They're not born mean. They're not born a gangster. They're not born a thug. I guess that's why I woke up saying "Bop the big bookies." But they're not born like that. These people have been through and faced hatred. So I guess they felt like they had to embody hatred to fight off that hatred, Perfect example. Like that guy, the Lil Loaded, that rapper, he was not born a killer, but seeing his brother be murdered, it brought that out of him. He felt like he had to respond to evil with evil, So, and then I was looking at his eyes during his interviews, and it kind of made me tear up, because I'm like, that man is not evil. He ain't no killer. It's just that was brought out of him. He felt like that. It's like having to meet your opponent where they are type thing, It's like, I ain't no shooter, but they a shooter, and I gotta defend myself, so I have to become one, to win. you know. But yeah, I was just looking at his eyes in his interviews, and I'm like, love would have prevented him from doing that. If somebody would have sat down and told him, like, hey, you don't have to match the evil that's going on around you. You don't have to become it. You don't have to become it. You know? And that kind of ties me back to what I was talking about at that lake that I went to with the woman that I came across. She was like, all the negativity that goes on in this world, you know, if you stare at it for too long, it's like the movie Bird Box. Put your blindfolds on, you know, and just pay attention to that inner voice. But yeah, it's like we have to make sure we're not becoming our environment. And something a woman at the lake told me also is to feed ourselves, like put in good. Because if all around us is going on this negativity, like in my dream, how it was like everything was being thrown up, it was absolute chaos, you know. But if we just keep our eye, there you go. But we just keep our eye on the calmness, the peace, you know, it really helps. It really helps. But yeah, we don't have to become the evil that's around us. We don't have to be involved with the chaos. You know, just focusing on that eye contact. Focus on that eye contact. Because in my dream, everything was chaotic. Everything was flying. Just everything. It was loud. It was like a storm, like a tornado. But when I looked in her eyes, it was just peaceful. It was quiet. Yeah, it was peaceful and quiet. So that just goes to show that in the midst of our storms, we still can find peace. We still can have that clarity. We still can have that sense of calmness, you know? Yeah. But, yeah, I like that dream though. And I'm glad that I'm able to share it with you guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, we just have to be more understanding, more open-minded. The things of this world that we deem as evil, the people on this planet that we deem as evil, we just really have to practice empathy, practice compassion, and practice understanding, you know, because everybody has a reason. Everybody has gone through something, you know. So, yeah. Nobody's born a killer. Nobody is born rude. Nobody is born hateful and envious, and nobody's born like that. It's taught. It's developed through very negative experiences, you know. So next time we come across somebody that's like that, we just have to tell ourselves, like, you've been through something that made you like that. Or whatever you went through that made you like that, I am so sorry. Whatever that was that brought that out of you, I'm sorry that that happened. You know, I'm sorry that that happened to you. But you don't have to, like Moana, that's not who you are. Like, you don't have to be how you are. You have a choice. You have a choice. I know what happened to you, it was not fair. I know what happened to you, it was not okay. But we all have choices. It's either we can become our environment, become that hatred, become that, and that's something else that the woman was talking about at the lake. The emotions that we feel, it's important for us to feel it and let it pass instead of becoming that hatred, instead of becoming that fear. Allow ourselves to feel it, allow ourselves to experience the situations that we encounter, and then let that go. Because our body, it stores trauma, it stores memories, it stores all of that. It stores attitudes, perspectives, all of that, you know? But we don't have to carry on life like that. We don't have to become like our abusers. We don't have to become like the other negative entities around us. We don't have to. We have a choice, you know. We do have that choice, you know. In the face of hatred, we have a choice to continue to be loving, to continue to be warm and caring. We still have that choice. And I think a lot of times we forget that. I really do. It's like our automatic response to hatred is to respond back with more hatred. That's like an automatic thing, you know. But that's kind of like the saying, 2 rights don't make a wrong. Oh, what is it? 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know, it's like we can't expect positivity to come from a negative situation if we're responding negatively to it, you know. So it's asking ourselves, how can I respond to this in a positive way? I want a positive outcome from this negative situation. Right now, I don't see clearly how to reach that place of clarity and make the best out of this. So I ask to be shown. I ask to be guided. How can I respond to this in a more higher vibration? You know, how can I look at this situation from a single eye, from a single mind? How can I be single-minded about this? You know? And speaking of single mind with the pyramid in the eye, it's like looking at things from a higher perspective. From that third eye, from a higher perspective. Everything I've been through in life, how can I look at it from the most clearest perspective possible? How can I look at all of what I've been through and the people that I come from the most clear perspective? You know? She got what?
Dad.
Okay, it's okay. But yeah, how can I see everything and everybody from the most highest perspective I most possibly can, you know? Because that girl, I could have looked at her like everybody else did. You know? But seriously, I go give her a hug. And in return of me giving her a hug, I was shown life. Ain't that something? And after she showed me the meaning of life, I turned around and asked her if she was a Christian. As humans, we're so simple. We're so simple-minded. Oh, are you a Christian? Just lift the whole world up, just show you the secrets of everything in life. You turn around and ask her, are you a Christian? Like, Say, we ain't bringing her back into this damn meeting. We ain't bringing her back. Goofy questions, but it's okay because we're humans and we're here to learn. And it's just so much that we don't know and understand with these little bitty brains, you know. But yeah, that's all that I have though, y'all. I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's a very eye-opening dream. I pray that you guys took something very valuable from here, even if it was just one particular thing that stuck out to you in this video. But yeah, I like that though. So yeah, give me kisses. Y'all continue to have a good rest of y'all's day. And yeah, just we gotta always try our best to seek an understanding of our situations and the people that's around us, and always pray for, once again with the pyramid at the eye at the top, pray for the highest perspective possible. Like, if I went through anything traumatic, what is the most elevated like interpretation that I can stick to, instead of the narrative like, oh, I went through that so people can't be trusted. Like, that's a very low perspective. That's low vibrational. That's very basic reasoning. But how can I elevate my perspective? How can I elevate to the highest degree? Not just a little bit, but to the highest degree possible. How can I positively interpret what I've been through? The people that surround me, how can I look at them at the highest, like, instead of looking at it like, oh, you some mean person, like, no, that's a basic interpretation of who that person is. But like, how can I look at everybody from the highest perspective possible, And I feel like that alone, looking at things from the highest perspective possible, that alone, y'all, is like heaven on earth. That's the peace, So when you look at things from a highest perspective, you're not stressing. You're not, stuck at a low vibration because you've interpreted things from such a basic level. You get clarity. You get that calmness. And I feel calm just like thinking about it. Because you imagine that. Everything you've been through, anything that was ever said to you, any person that you ever come across, you look at it from the highest perspective possible, the most positive perspective possible. That eliminates all fear. That eliminates all worry. That eliminates all hatred and anger and bitterness and confusion. It eliminates all of that. That is that calmness in the middle of the storm. It's like I could be surrounded by lots of evil. I could be surrounded by all of this, but I can choose to look at it from a very high degree and provide myself a sense of stillness and calmness. Y'all, that's some hot shit. But that's real though. And you know how they say the frequency that we put out, that's what we attract. When you in the middle of the storm, when you in the middle of it, nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you. That is the definition of unbothered. All of the stuff going on around you, but you're not touched by it. You're not fazed by it. You're in the middle of the storm where it's quiet, where it's calm, where it's peaceful. Y'all, that shit deep. But our perspective is everything. We can choose to look at people from a very basic perspective. We can choose to look at our life circumstances from a very basic perspective. And in return, we will react in a very basic way and feel very basic emotions. And the lowest frequency of emotions is anger, jealousy, bitterness. Those are very low vibrational energies and emotions. And it's all from our perspective, our eye, our interpretation, But at any moment, y'all, we can flip the script and look at things from the highest perspective, the highest degree. Are y'all following me on this? That shit, wow. I feel like I just smoked 2 blunts, yo, back to back. That shit, wow. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Y'all give me another kiss. Mwah. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day again. And I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go before this video reaches a whole hour. But I hope y'all took something very valuable and peaceful from here. And until next time, toodles!